This from Dawg Pound Daily. 3 big storylines for Browns Cowboys in Week 1 on Sunday. Number 1, Deshaun Watson and the new offense. I am really curious to see how that looks. And again, we've been told they're not going to be able to put everything in that they want to put in. I do want to see more shotgun and playing to Deshaun Watson's strengths. Number 2, offensive line injuries and the run game. This one, I'm not going to lie, that has me concerned. And number 3, can the defense be as dominant this year? I mean, that defense was historic for part of last year. So you're asking a lot. I think the talent is even better just based on who they've added. When you look at those, all of those are legit. I'm concerned about the O-line and the run game.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest question mark, in my opinion, is well, the continuity from year to year has been pretty good with the offensive line, and that has to do with the personnel and having Bill Callahan. Well, kind of got a little bit of a shakeup now with the personnel, with the left tackle concerns, and you don't have Bill Callahan. How much more confident would you be in this offensive line if you had Bill Callahan? You know, this is just a new offensive coordinator, a new offensive line coach, and it's going to take a while to fill out. But you understand one thing is you can't live with the running game the way that it ended last year. There has to be an improvement there. We heard Wyatt Teller talk earlier in the week about the importance of staying up with the chains, staying out of predictable passing situations. Well, how do you do that? Jerome Ford's got to get you 4 yards on first down. You can't be living in 2nd and 9, 3rd and 8. That is a tough way to live in the NFL. So this running game has to be consistent. What we saw out of Jerome Ford last year was a big play followed by a bunch of kind of nothing burgers, 0, 1 yard, and you can't live in that area. We saw that with Isaiah Crowell in years past. You have to be consistent. So those 3.5, 4 yard gains, taking what's there, you got to be able to at least get that. Now we've been spoiled because we've had Nick Chubb, so he would take what's there and then some extra. I just need you to get what's there. And I think Deonta Foreman can definitely do that just by simply falling forward at the end of your runs. But that consistency in that running game keeps you on the field and keeps you moving the chains. I'll say to the defense.
Go ahead. No, you go. Go ahead.
I was going to say to the defense, I expect them to be more dominant. I flat out do. It's now the yardage thing's weird. Will they have historic lows in yardage, and something the NFL hasn't seen in 10 years? Probably not. But I expect them to be much more stingy in the red zone. And the last time I checked, that's how you decide who wins and loses games is the points. So I expect them to be more dominant in that facet. And then it doesn't matter how the offense gets there. Whether they get a quick change and get an interception and kind of just find yourself there, you still got to put the lid on the thing and hold teams to 3. And I need that to be the emphasis. And I need you to be able to travel with that defense, which is something they really didn't do last year. So those 2 aspects, red zone defense and taking it on the road, those 2 things to me lead it to be a more dominant defense than it was last year.
With Watson in the offense, can't turn the ball over like he did last year. And that a lot of that was, he didn't turn it over as much as the other guys who played quarterback. Turnovers will kill a really good defense. I want to see some easy yards. I want to see it spread out. I don't want to see defenses able to put 8, 9 in the box. Spread it out and let Watson find the matchups that you guys like and have game planned.
Your mouth to God's ears. It's about finding easy answers for Watson, getting the ball out of his hands and getting him in a rhythm. And you have the players to do it because you have several receivers that create separation and someone like Judy who can create it early, right off the snap. So it's about finding instances where you can get the ball in their hands and let them work, let them do the heavy lifting. Obviously, David Njoku is a focal point for that. He's a guy that you can just literally dump it off to, and he puts people in making business decisions. People aren't excited to come up and tackle him unless you weigh over 225 pounds. So you got to create that and get that game flow going. So the ball's just coming out of his hands. Let him be a point guard. Let him just be the facilitator and let those guys do the heavy lifting. And if you do that, you get in a rhythm. And after you get in a rhythm, those chunk plays seem to come. So for me, that's what it's about. It's just let him spread it out. Let him stay in shotgun. Let him see the field the way he's used to seeing it and just getting the ball out of his hands and let these playmakers make plays.